Cheers! Welcome to my channel. This is a daily tarot oracle reading, Tattle Tales from the Vector. This is a general or collective reading, so parts may or may not resonate with you. Just take what works for you and leave the rest. This is also a timely reading, meaning if you're watching it at this time, it's the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it has been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then? That might give you further clarity as to this situation now. All right, for the underlying energy, I did a quick meditation beforehand, and the tarot card that came out for the tarot is the Five of Wands. The wands represent the element of fire. This is about passionate action. The wood wands fuel the fire for passionate action. This is the only card in the tarot that actually has adolescents duking it out like this. So sometimes this can represent sibling rivalry, or it can just talk about immature competition. It's my Mean Girls card. So if you think about narcissistic cheerleaders that are at a competition for, maybe they're in grade 6 to grade 10, and they want to win that trophy because it's a matter of prestige for them. And they are noticing that another team there is definitely better than them. And so they're kind of panicking. And so instead of watching that other team to learn how they're doing what they're doing and, work on being able to do that at the next competition by learning from them, they're trying to figure out a way that they can win when they know they shouldn't be. And if they don't succeed, their mothers will succeed behind the scenes to make sure they get that trophy. It's that immature competition. When we get more mature, we realize that any competition we're in is really within ourselves. If we can maintain, keep our shift together while we are under pressure, and be able to perform at a high level, that's, practice of being in competition. And so this is talking about learning from the competition, and also recognizing that, if you just become a better version of yourself every time you go out there, even if you're only 1% better, it's going to add up. And eventually you'll win that trophy. And so this is I'm talking about learning and being inspired by the competition instead of being like all worked up about having to be the winner all the time. The Hermit energy is talking about safe travels. This is from my oracle, and this is Tales from the Vector. And this is the Hermit. This is called the Journeyman. This is Feish. He's a dragon-like hawk, a hawk-like dragon. He's a baby, and all the baby dragons have an angel that goes with them, and she's a First Nations. This painting is from Winnipeg, Manitoba is the location of this dragon, and in the regular tarot, the hermit climbs the mountain to isolate with God and when his lantern becomes full of the light of the North Star, he comes down and takes action. In this one, it's more like getting to the top of the totem pole. And this is the Northern Lights behind Feish here. And this is talking about, if you've ever, in Canada, in the prairies, you can really see the Northern Lights. Sometimes it's just an absolutely beautiful light show. It's the lights are all swirling, and there's all different colors. It's really, really beautiful. If you ever get a chance to witness that. The totem pole is actually from a different time and space. And this is from Japan, and it's saying, hear no ego, see no ego, speak no ego. And it's talking about meditation and prayer and getting on your correct path. Feish is a seeker of truth, so he's willing to go into the darkest depths to be able to find the truth about himself and to face his shadow side. Then we have this energy of the High Priestess. And the High Priestess is talking about using your intuition. She sits in between these two pillars that represent extremes. All of this in the background here represents information coming at her from both sides. And she is known for being able to be in a joyful state, and because she's always able to use her intuition to come to a creative solution for any problem. This is talking about the difference between your mind and your brain. A lot of people confuse the two. Your mind is the part of you that thinks and is your will, to move forward and how you think. Your brain is your central nervous system, the actual components of the brain, and then the components of the spine, and that's your CNS. And so, if you ask a logical question, and you'll get logical answers. Say you get 5 logical answers, and any one of them could be a lot. It's an answer that will work. But if you want to figure out, go further, like which one is the best one for me in my situation, then you stop thinking and you just feel for sensations in your body. And as you look at each of maybe read them, look at the answers, a lot of people, if it's weak energetically, they'll get that feeling of an elevator dropping, for instance, like phew, where your stomach feels like it drops. Then you know that, nope, that's not the answer. And when you hit the strong one, it feels like all of a sudden you want to straighten up and your spine goes straight and you feel really strong and you're like, that's it. And so psychosomatically, our body will let us know if we're energetically weak or strong to any given situation. And if we train ourselves to start quiet the mind through meditation and prayer, and be able to feel, then we can choose which of the logical answers are the best to use. And she's known for having a lot of success doing it this way and a much more joyful life. She's sorting through 2 major extremes, because this pillar represents Jesus and this one represents the devil. And this, the energy here is the 10 of Swords. This card has been coming up in the readings a lot again lately. It's talking about sabotage from other people. I mean, there's 10 swords in this person's back. They're laying on the ground here. And, it's almost like you can't tell if they're even going to be able to get back up again. Are they even wanting to get back up? But when you, this card, you can see the hand is in the form of a blessing, which is the same hand gesture that the Hierophant in the tarot has. And the Hierophant is responsible for bringing justice down to the physical realm from the spiritual. And this is saying that get back up, you can do it. And it can be talking about, one person doing this 10 times. This can be over a decade of energy very easily. It can also be like 10 different people or 10 groups of people. There is light at the end of the tunnel, though. And this hand gesture is saying this could be a blessing in disguise. Sometimes if we're isolated and we're feeling left alone like this, it's rejection quite often is God's protection. And we have here, get up, because you will have there's promise of a strong foundation again in your life. This is talking about marriage, commitments, and partnerships. This card, a lot of people consider this to be the official marriage card in tarot. It basically is saying that you have a strong foundation to have that ultimate fulfillment. But you have to kind of walk through that portal to have it. And it's saying, don't sell yourself short, get up. Like this card is saying, you need to get back up, and it will, you have faith in your journey. It's going to be okay. This is talking about, if this is, say, for instance, this is the marriage that it's talking about. This could be, basically saying you have the down payment for your castle. You still have to make the mortgage payments. Someone's popped the question and both said yes. And so now you're planning the wedding, but then you're going to have to pour your energy into the relationship for it to be as promising as it can be. And so this is talking about ultimate, the beginning of ultimate fulfillment in your lifestyle. And then we have here, you're in an elevated position with the 3 of Pentacles. The Pentacles talk about health, wealth, and happiness in the 3D. So this is talking about money as a big part of that. And so that's why the pentacles are shaped like coins. The pentacle energy represents the element of earth. So it's talking about earthly matters and matters, physical matter on the earth. Of course, coin is, money is a big part of being able to have a good lifestyle. But this is talking about You know, you could have all the money in the world and still not be living the lifestyle that you want. And we see that quite often now in the news. We saw that with the files that came out. A lot of people that, you know, have a lot of money and a lot of talent, and they're at the top of their game, and, you know, they're people pay a lot of money to see them in movies, or they're, you know, amazing entertainers, actresses, actors, comedians, you know, singers, you know, musicians, artists, and that's what this is saying. So quite often it's talking about this type of where you're in an elevated position, because like anyone can sing, but not well enough to attract people to come to a concert and pay good money, you know, and travel to come and see you. This card is saying that you're in an elevated position because you have people interested in collaborating with you. It's saying you have to be very careful about who you collaborate with, that they're in alignment with your lifestyle, especially if you're in any of those industries. That could also be if you're a really amazing athlete. These could be people coming to scout, you know, scouts coming and offering a scholarship to go to their university or college. Or better yet, you're already there and now they're saying, would you come and play for our pro team? So, but you have to make sure that you have really good representation with lawyers to look over contracts and agreements, because there's many a person that has signed up and then they find out later that the industry has a lot of, there's a lot of secret society energy in this type of occupations. And so you want to make very, very sure that you have a good lawyer who understands those contracts, that understands them very well, to make sure there's no loopholes or, you know, some sort of, that you're signing up for something that you don't, a lifestyle that you don't want to live. And it's also talking about making sure that, you know, the payout that many a band, or, you know, people in the music industry, quite often you hear about them being in bands and going on tour and then ending up, it turned out everybody made the money but them. I just was watching a documentary about that today, about one of the bands from the 80s and how they were all like broke, and they worked their butts off, you know, but the person that was controlling, that was managing them, was a multi-millionaire and invested in real estate. So, you know, and they were the ones that were doing all the work. And I think they made something like, they went to court and they got $70,000 each after like 3 years of touring. It was really sad, actually. It really took them down, you know. And so it's talking about that type of energy. We do have this, the moon, and it's talking about illusions, hidden secrets coming out. We do have a full moon coming up, not until June 29th, so about a week and a little bit from now. So I'm going to actually be doing a bonus reading on that, and then coming up in the next couple of days, I'm going to start doing it for all the astrological signs. But I don't feel it's really affecting the energy now, but the moon is coming in. What we do have here, though, it has the eclipse energy. And the eclipse energy, you know, we have the full moon, the new moon, and we have the sun. And so this is the only card that really has the eclipse energy on it. And so it can be talking about, we did have an eclipse on February 17th and again on March 3rd. We had 2 eclipses, and eclipse season lasts about 6 months. And it's really interesting because, you know, it'll seem like the eclipse season is like, it feels like nothing much really happened, or you maybe didn't accomplish that much, or, you know, and then you look back 6 months later and you go, holy smokes. Like if you wrote down, I was suggesting for people to write down 10 different things that they would like to accomplish, like at the end of the 6 months of the eclipse season. And when I went back and looked at my list the other day, I've accomplished 8 of them, and I even forgot what I was going to accomplish. So I got quite a bit of it done, and I was really surprised. It didn't seem like it. So you might want to take a look back at that time around February 17th to March 3rd. Maybe it would give you further clarity as to what's going on in your life now, and maybe you might be really surprised at how well you really are doing, and we don't give ourselves enough credit sometimes. So the lobster, he's wanting to climb out of this emotional water and continue on his path here, but here's his dog and this wolf, on either side of this path, and they're howling at the moon here. And he's like, man, he's hoping they fall asleep or something, and then he can just sneak by. He doesn't want to have to go all the way around because it'll take forever. He's a lobster. And so he's pretty determined, but he's feeling vulnerable doing it. But he's determined to carry on his path and get past any energy that would stop him. The dog is representing your domestic and personal goals, like your home life, and the wolf is representing your wild side. Like, what are you out when you're out in public and out and about? So it could say that you've been home a little bit too much and you need to get out more, or that you need to come home once in a while and quit partying and see if you have any mail, that kind of energy. We do have the Page of Cups coming in, and this is the pages coming in with information or communication about love. The cups in tarot represent love, romantic, and also of anyone or anything. It also could be something you love to do or be, and it's sitting right on this energy. So it's talking about, if you look into any the communication, any paperwork or anything like that, it's again saying make sure there's no hidden secrets or illusions in the paperwork. There's no surprises that you're going to find out later before signing, especially right now, because Mercury is in retrograde until the 23rd of July, which is only like 3 days from now. But it sort of lingers. When Mercury's retrograde, there can be a lot of miscommunication in, and in technology breaks down a little bit easier. And so it's saying, especially if you're signing any contracts, like something important at this time, make double, it's saying it again. The Page of Cups is, quite often about a cup of love, but it can be about what you love to do or what you love to be. And they would work for the King and Queen very young, 7 to 14. So it can talk about some sort of energy that you've been working at since you were really young. You'll see this a lot in like sports like gymnastics, figure skating, hockey, all of that, going to the rink and going to the practices and dance and all of that. Like a lot of the Olympic athletes, they start training very early in gymnastics as well. And so this can be talking about information or communication coming from a time when you were like in elementary school, high school, or even just about to start college, university, like under the age of 21. It can also talk about people that you knew from back in that time. Maybe they'll be coming back into your life in some way, and they might have some important communication or information for you. If this is romantic love, the Page of Cups, this could be online dating. The Page of Cups knows there's plenty of fish in the sea, but he has his eye on this fish, and this is the one that he's really intensely looking at. So this could talk about maybe someone from your past that you knew from before, that you bump into them somewhere, and you end up like, oh, you've grown up, and you end up dating or something, that type of thing. And it can also represent, something could come in the mail, or you might get flowers, or it could be an invitation. So it's communication coming in. The characters in tarot are not gender specific. In the old days, this would always be a male, but this could be a female in her masculine energy as well, and that's how all the characters in tarot are. They represent masculine and feminine energy, not gender. We have the Empress. The Empress is, she's a powerful manifester. The Empress is the third card in the major arcana, and she embodies the qualities of all four queens. So this is talking about having been through a lot of life experience and really being determined to stay on your path. And then you learn so much that you become the Empress energy, and you embody all those qualities from all four queens. This is reaching a very high level of your ability to manifest and to be a powerful person. And it talks about the way that she manifests. She makes plans and then she puts them into place. but she's not one to worry. Like this wheat growing at her feet represents the energy of, growing a crop. Say she wants to grow a crop. She'll decide, okay, is it going to be wheat or is it going to be durum? And she's like, okay, durum. Which field would be the best one to sow it in? And then she's going to make sure that she has the soil tested to make sure if it needs anything, amending, fertilizer, whatever, and make sure any rocks or stones that could damage the expensive seeding and harvesting equipment are picked off the land and removed so that it doesn't damage anything. And then she'll wait for the opportune time to sow it. And then once it's sown, she just waves her magic wand and she says, okay, here we go. I'm going to leave it up to nature and the universe to grow me a bumper crop. And she's known for growing bumper crops. She's also known for being pregnant with possibility. So if you are not wanting to get pregnant right now, be careful because you are very fertile is what it's saying. And we have cutthroat competition here, and that's sitting on this energy here. So I don't know why it's sitting on this could be partnerships, commitments, this is like spousal energy as well. Hopefully not your spousal energy, but this is talking about, cutthroat competition where someone is willing to risk it all to have to put you in this position. Clearly, this energy is really not beneficial for you. This outward conflict, you can even see like how jagged the clouds are in this energy. The swords do represent your mental intelligence, discipline of your mind. It's the element of air. So this is the thoughts. And for whatever reason, you have something that the competition wants. Well, you're an empress. So, and it looks like you have a lot going for you here, but there's some hidden secrets and illusions that are coming out of like this energy here. Really, when you look at this reading, the only negative here is really this card here and this now. The rest is like kind of life, and so this is talking about outer conflict. And, these two people, it looks like you have fought them off and they've laid down their swords. And they're in a risk it all energy, but you're now being placed in that energy because you're not backing down. You're saying, you're not taking what is mine. I will fight for it, and I will fight hard. And so maybe they're not used to you being in that type of energy. This can also talk, though, about inner conflict that you have within you from the outer conflict. Outer conflict can really cause a lot of inner conflict, and then that attracts more outer conflict. So this could be regarding your this can sometimes represent three versions of you. And it's kind of like while you're laying here, like being in this energy is, should I bother to get back up? Like that's where they want you. You have to get back up. This is the subconscious mind is formed like when you are up to about the age of 6 or 7. And so you might have been beaten down a little bit when you were a child or something. And there's some leftover energy here that needs to be worked through. So the subconscious mind, it's formed, as I said, by the time we're around 6 or 7. And really, if you think back, you probably don't remember a whole lot about that time frame, especially when you were a baby. So this can be talking, like this is more the thoughts of the people that were in charge of your care. And babies are like sponges. They, look how much they learn in the first year alone. So they absorb their environment. Like, it's like the culture that you're raised under, the race that you are, even the food you eat, how does your parents approach money? Do they fight a lot? Like all of this energy is absorbed and makes up the subconscious mind. And when we get stressed out, that's the first one that pops up. But really, it's not the most reliable because it's really the thoughts of other people that were in charge of our care when we were young. And then we have an unconscious mind, which is our spirituality and that is talking about, from a lot of people will agree, yes, I'm a human being with a soul. But from the soul's perspective, you're a soul traveling in a human body, and this is your vehicle for navigating Earth. If the soul's needs and spiritual needs are not being met, then it'll start arguing with the subconscious and conscious mind. And the conscious mind is what you have a handle on. So this is saying that if you can get these three working together and lower through meditation and prayer, and you can lower like the conflict within yourself, then you'll start attracting less outer conflict, and vice versa. Because there's something going on here. We don't really know why they want you here. They want something that you have. We just don't know what it is as of yet. It's not, the Empress energy, it means you're a powerful manifester and you're living a really good lifestyle. They could want to be you. They could want your lifestyle. But we have the Hierophant here. So the Hierophant is talking about justice coming in for this situation. And remember I said how his hand is in the form of a blessing. Here you go. So this is saying that this could be, in the end, you might look back at this and say, this was a real challenging time that I went through, but it was a blessing in disguise because, I used my intuition. I learned all this, and I ended up getting this really good position. And, you look back, and it's kind of like I said, you look at the eclipse season and you go, well, it was really hard, but you were so busy being, fighting fights that you didn't want to be fighting, and having a lot of difficult energy to deal with, that you didn't realize how much you really have accomplished. And that's the energy I'm picking up in this, in this reading. It's about really that type of like justice of really these people are trying to take something from you, and the more they try to take something from you, the stronger you get. That's the energy we have here. And we have the sun shining on it, and this is the truth and happiness coming through. And that's what, a lot of times when this card comes up, especially on this energy here, rejection from other people is quite often God's protection. It's saying that, you're better off like to be separate from them, because the shift's about to hit the fan for them. And if you're involved in their energy, then you're going to get hit too, and you don't deserve to. And so this is talking like the sun is the happiest card, and it shines its light on the rest of the reading. It's saying that you're going to have a happy ending. You're a child of God, and you're meant to be happy. Look at all the sunflowers. The sunflowers, the heads turn with the sun, absorbing its light and its joyfulness. And it's sitting, it's talking about you as a young child on this pony. Look there's no reins, there's no saddle, no fear, and you're carrying this heavy banner representing your destiny, and you look how happy you are and joyful, and this is how you're meant to be. And so this energy here, I feel it's interesting because I feel it has actually pushed you into being an empress. So the very thing that they were trying to, they were trying to stop you and take from you what was yours, and you ended up being an empress. So that's kind of a justice all in its own. It's been really a heavy burden though. Like this is what it's talking about. What this is saying is you've worked hard to get through this energy. And I feel like this is almost, there's 10 swords and then there's 10 actions here. So these are the seeds of your actions. I feel like every time they knocked you down, you got back up and you planted a seed and you got the wand growing, and then they knocked you back down and you planted another one and you did it 10 times. And this is you now coming home with your harvest, and it's super heavy. So, this card can talk about having a heavy burden to carry or a heavy load, but the heavy load could be the fruit of your labor, and you would have never have had this much fruit if they hadn't kept knocking you down. So it's kind of like, it's not fun, but it sure got you moving, because these represent taking action, to grow something. So you've really accomplished a lot, I feel, and it's talking about this is a very heavy load. What this is saying is, with the Hierophant here, is that justice is coming into this situation. And if you're carrying burdens for other people, you need to put them down. And if you can find a way to delegate some of the responsibility here to to others, or find other ways of doing things to make life a little bit easier for yourself, you're going to have the ability to pay for that. Like when you're in this Empress energy, you'll be like her. Okay, universe, do it for me. So this is talking about being very close to your goal and maybe even surpassing it, but not realizing it. It's coming up, that energy again of like getting way more done than you thought you did. And so this is talking about, don't quit now. Again, it's saying get up and keep going, because you are way closer to your goal, or even surpassed it more than you can even imagine. But there's a saying, you can't see the forest for the trees. And that's when you're looking at the details and so engrossed because you're down here and you're getting back up and then working at it again. You're so focused on that, you're not seeing the big picture anymore. And so he doesn't realize how close he is to his home. And like he could even lay all these wands down, put down the ones that are burdensome from others, and say, I'm not doing this anymore, and then gather the rest. And if it's too much, go back in 2 loads. He's about 10 minutes from his house here, so it wouldn't be that hard. But he thinks he's way further away than he is. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune turning in your favor, for sure. I feel like you have quite a harvest here, actually, sitting here on the Empress. And this about having a really strong foundation. You must be one tough cookie to be able to get all this done. It's pretty amazing, actually. We have the Wheel of Fortune turning in your favor to move out of this energy. You're meant to be happy. You're not meant to be here. And so this is talking about the past, the present, and the future coming together into synchronicity, and everything starting to work in your favor when this justice comes through. And with God here smiling down on it, it's saying this is God has been here with you, and you're not alone. Even if you feel like you're alone, you're not alone. The Wheel of Fortune is turning in your favor, and this is God's plan. One of the wheels on here, there's actually 3, and one of them has the Hebrew letters for the name of God, and that is Tetragrammaton. And a tetragrammaton is a sacred geometric symbol representing equalization of all forces and perfect divine order. And that's God saying, you're on my plan. You're my child, and you're meant to be happy, and that's what's going to happen now. And congratulations for staying on your path and becoming an Empress energy. You did really, really well. You're about to be rewarded with a better lifestyle now. And look at this. So we have another page coming in here. This could be someone else that you know from your childhood and from way back when. And they're coming in with, you've got 1 cup of love and you've got 1 cup of lifestyle, of some information coming in for a better lifestyle, and the love that you want in your life. And so that we have this card here. So let's see what else is coming in here. We have the Queen of Wands energy. Now this could be like your natural state of being, because this is the first real, well, we have the Empress card. I feel like this could be information about someone else. It could be information about a Queen of Wands. But I feel like the way it's sitting on here, it's talking about this is your you see how she's holding the sunflower as well here? And because she's sitting right on the sun, and she's sitting on this energy. So either this is saying that she was part of the competition because she wanted to be like you. That could be. Or it's saying that this is your natural disposition to be a natural beauty, happy with the sun in your hand, following God's plan, moving forward in that energy. But with everything else coming here, it is sitting on this energy. So we know you're the Empress energy. Before you had all of this happening, this could say that this was your energy before. The Queen of Wands is, the veil behind her represents the thin veil between the spiritual and physical realm, and also her ability to be very much like the High Priestess, joyful because she's able to use her intuition and logic at a high level and be able to manifest happiness because of it. Now, this could be someone this could be this energy, though, information coming in about someone who wants to be like you, and that could be the energy that and because it's sitting on here, we don't know for sure. We'll keep going and see. On the top here we have the Nine of Cups, and so the Nine of Cups is talking about a public figure. Now, I feel like definitely this. I feel like this is all your energy. I feel like this here. Like if you look at it, the only card that's really negative in this reading is this negative energy coming towards you, but it has elevated you to be even better than you were before. And I feel like that's what this is talking about. And I feel maybe that the one thing that you're missing is maybe this, a strong partner that matches your energy here. And the Wheel of Fortune is turning to bring that towards you. Once you're back up and back in your natural sunny disposition, I feel that this is talking about like you already have, it's saying you already have accomplished so much more than you realize. Yeah, that's why it's really good to write things down, write your goals down. For one thing, when we write things down, we tend to be more likely to do it. But sometimes you can forget, like I did. Like I knew there was 5 or 6 things that I really wanted to accomplish. But then I just added a few more on at the bottom, just like whatever, if they happen. And I couldn't even remember what they are, and I've accomplished them all. And they were actually quite significant. And so when I added it all up, I was like, whoa, a lot of those cups have come in. And we don't know with this. This could be an energy that maybe you are a public figure, and maybe you have signed a really solid contract to move forward doing something you really love to do, or there's an offer like that coming in. And maybe it also, there's this cup of, like that would be the Pentacle energy, and this cup of love coming in. And then you would have everything that is kind of what you've been wishing for. This is talking about being on a stage, and we can't see, are these cups in the past, behind him on a shelf, above his head, or forward? And the body language here is a little bit incongruent. The bottom, his feet are turned out, and that's saying that he's losing a bit of focus, leaking a little bit of energy. But the arms are in an infinity symbol. And it's almost like this person could just nod like a genie and get the last cup. And here it is. Maybe there's a public figure coming towards you. Or maybe now you've become a public figure, and now you're going to be meeting all sorts of people. And that energy is going to be when you find that perfect someone that you, I feel like that maybe is the one thing that's missing. I feel like you've really accomplished a lot here, though. I'm going to clarify this for those of you who want clarification. Did I mention what this crystal is? I can never pronounce it properly. Hemimorphite. It's really beautiful, and it's talking about self-transformation, personal evolution, and maintaining your health. And so this, I thought, would be a good, when I saw this, it would be good to just do a quick meditation with it. Yeah, it's a real beautiful stone, has a really beautiful vibration to it. From the bottom to the top and back down again, we have the High Priestess use your intuition. And some form of justice is coming in regarding this energy here. Part of that justice is becoming an empress, though, for sure, because I feel like without being pushed this hard by the competition, you would never, I'm not suggesting this is a good idea for anyone to do, but it did push you to reach your goals hard. Like you got up, you did another action. You got up, you did another action. I don't think they were expecting that. And then this is you coming back into your happy self. And possibly, maybe you are on stage now and you have been, you're, you're at the top of the pedestal here. You're at the top of the pyramid, but with a happy lifestyle, because you made sure that the contract was good and all that. The Wheel of Fortune's turning in your favor, and maybe this new cup of love is coming in. Maybe you'll meet someone on your travels of, it's all talking about here. All right, I'm going to clarify with the oracle cards. And the numbers on these cards are representing the paintings as they're listed in my gallery on my website, talesfromthevector.com. And let's see here. I will put them in the description box below in the order they appear here so that you can look them up if you want. They say a painting paints 1,000 words. So here we go. We have the High Priestess on the High Priestess. So double joy. You gotta love that. This is saying that you are highly intuitive and that you've been following your guiding star. And that's what rescued your butt. For sure. And so, but you're being rewarded because you've been using your intuition to stay on your destined path. That's why the Wheel of Fortune is turning for you. And you're already like reaching, just because of how hard these people pushed you, you've already reached probably your goals for, the next 4 or 5 years. So you're already at an Empress status here. And Capricorn is about having a lot of ambition. You could be someone that has a lot of ambition. And this is talking about being responsible about your life, like being mature enough to be able to have that strong foundation, to be able to make commitments that are strong and understand what it's going to take. This is when horoscope signs come in my general collective readings, I just want you to be aware that I'm not talking about individual people. I'm talking about the quality of each sign, like the state of being. So every sign has its strengths and weaknesses, and Capricorn is the most mature of the pentacle energy. So this is talking about really being able to be ambitious and take consistent steps of action towards your goals. So you definitely use that energy and seeing the possibilities and the challenges to be able to get up and take action here. Congratulations on that. And this is talking about having come a long way in a short while, because this is the Taurus energy is talking about, like, it's the second card in the zodiac, or the second sign. And you think about a toddler and how much they learn, like like by the second year, right? And this is talking about learning about love and learning about receiving and giving love. And also the give and take in the universe of, how much are you willing to invest in other people, in projects, and etc. And I think you've learned a lot about the give and take there. Is it a fair exchange? Is it what, is it, what can you anticipate as a return? Is are these people that are giving as well as receiving? And so I feel like you've come a long way in that energy, being an Empress here. And then we have, the temptation on here. So definitely there was some sort of energy. Someone once, you're an Empress. So this is the Devil card coming out in my oracle. This is a beautiful dragonfly, and she's adorned in crystals. And, the Devil's not going to tempt you with something that's ugly. The Devil's going to tempt you with something shiny and beautiful that you want. And so this energy is talking about temptation coming in, but you didn't give. I'm getting you could have given into the temptation, but you didn't. You stayed on your destined path. When this card comes up, I always want to see what does the Devil tempt you with, and what does God step in? What happens here? We have lack of awareness. So missed opportunities. If you would have gone and gone the easy route instead of staying on your destined path, you would have missed out on all these opportunities. Like these people, the people that were behind this energy, it's talking about this energy. If you would have said, oh, okay, I'm just going to, if you can't beat them, join them. I'm just going to, even though it's not what I want in my life or whatever, I just can't, I don't want to have to deal with this. Maybe they'll leave me alone if I join up with them, and, no, you didn't do that. You stayed on your destined path here. That's why you're being rewarded. Then you would have just been, when they get hit with the karma, you would have just been hit with it too. That's why if you were carrying any burdens from these people, you needed to just lay them down. And I feel like you did. So this is surrender. This can be like your intuition is really strong, and if you have passed on loved ones, like even your great grandparents or grandparents, your ancestors were really, I feel, around you and like encouraging you and saying, get back up, like you can do it, and you, sometimes when they're around, you'll feel a cool breeze, and that's them coming in, and they're like, hi. The lights might flicker a little or something, or you might have a dream with them in. They were, the energy here, this is, they were trying to degrade your energy. And this is a tactic that people use. And so it's talking about not muddying your water in your body, basically. So not being tempted by other people who want to degrade your energy. And, this is talking about staying on your path, basically. But people, they see you on, it's a weird thing when people see someone that wants to do things the right way. They want to see, oh, let's knock them off. They sometimes just do it for fun. We have this energy of the superstar, and that is right here. You might be a really talented singer, or maybe a speaker, something to do with that. It's talking about being able to have harmony in your life again. Like with this energy here, I feel that this energy here, I feel like you avoided really having anything to do with this energy, and that's what saved your butt. This energy coming in here is I feel that it was a lover that was sent to you, that was meant to trip you up, and you were too busy going after possibly this contract. And sometimes this energy can represent secret societies that send someone in, but I feel like this actually was an honest contract in this case. Like it was someone that, it was actually a real beneficial thing for you, because you're here because you worked hard at this. You're now in that energy, and like this could be, you could have a public platform, or you could be doing something, on stage, whatever, but it's in some public form, I feel. And it says you're a superstar. So you are. And then we have the Pisces energy here, and this is talking about having authority over your own life, I feel. And it could be talking about an authority figure coming in with some information about Pentacles that's going to empower you. I feel like it's almost like you've reached this level just from everything you've been through, and staying dedicated to being on your path and not giving up. That you have reached the top here, and maybe you still are looking for that special person to come into your life, but I feel that will like happen. You're kind of, it's kind of like you're an authority in whatever this occupation. You put a lot of energy into that instead of anything else. It's going to bring you great happiness, and now I feel like the hard part is over, and you can start to enjoy like the benefits of your lifestyle. I feel everything's going to start improving for you. All right, that's the justice coming through for you. It pays to stay on your your destined path, following your North Star, like the journeyman here. All right, I hope you've enjoyed this reading. I have. It's been kind of a little bit of a uplifting energy, and I will be back with another reading for you again tomorrow. Bye for now.